Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. If you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll like and subscribe to yours so you can get a little help getting to 1,000. I know it's only one at a time, but that's how I'm getting there, one at a time. So chances are pretty good. Well, actually, I get more than that. I'm surprised I get two or three subscribers every time I do this. So unfortunately, to reach 1,000, I got to do this a lot. But anyway, uh, why don't you do it now? So that way you don't have to think about it later. All right, so I think I'm having one of those days. I tell you, one of the hardest things to be is I don't know if introverts are like this, but because I haven't really studied it. I'm not a psychologist or anything, and I don't really think I'm an introvert because I do these videos all the time, and I actually do them on Facebook as well. And then I make some downloads to the other social media things. So I don't really think I'm an introvert, but I do know that I am an overthinker. Holy moly! So I think I'm having one of those days. And if you are having one of those days, put a like, hit the like button because I think that overthinkers, I think they have those types of days. One of the problems with being an overthinker is you're kind of ready for anything, but that's the problem with that is you probably heard that old adage 98% of what you think never happens. So, yeah, then there's that. So, you're going to have to try to get some kind of self programming going to let you know that, hey, just because you're thinking this, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Okay. Even though it's logical, it seems like, but hey, well, why wouldn't that happen? So, being an overthinker and a logical thinker, holy moly, it's going to be kind of tough on you new people. So, I want to give you something that works for me. Okay. Number one, cut down on conspiracy theories. Okay. Cut down on the negative stuff. Everybody knows that the news is negative. Okay. Um, I was in a pretty good mood whenever I came off. The weather was nice. Uh, we still have some snowdrift that we have to negotiate getting in and out of our parking spaces, but nothing by now that should really be a problem. The snow that's still present, you can pretty much just roll over. You don't have to worry about spinning your tires and stuff like that, and you don't have to worry about the snow plow coming up and snow plowing you in. But I do hear that they have that problem on the West Coast. So, oh boy. So I want to say spring has sprung, but I don't think so. Our weather app, it shows you 5 days or the current week. So the next 7 days, I might be able to get on my weather app and see from today, which is Tuesday, until next Tuesday. And it also has a little arrow thing on there. And if you want to, it'll show you, I guess, the next week. I don't know. I don't know. But I didn't use that app today. I was satisfied with, okay, I'm happy go lucky. It's almost 50 degrees today. Go out and do you, boo. Okay, so here was the first problem. Really cool. What app is it? Is there a specific one? Hey, how's your day been? Okay. Uh, it's been pretty weird. Um, I noticed that my car makes this sound. Okay. And I remember one of my neighbors, he fixes stuff. And then he actually built a garage. I never heard a hammer. Okay. I don't know. But he comes over to my car one day and he says, "Hey, that sound that your car is making is your power steering fluid is low." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And the only thing I can tell you is if your power steering fluid is low, your car is going to make a sound. It's kind of like a sound, and whenever you turn, it's a little laborious. Now, if it's out, you'll know that your power steering is out. But um, mine, when it got so low, uh, uh, it didn't. Oh, um, whenever I started to turn in the morning, it wouldn't turn. It would hesitate. I was like, oh, but since I was moving, the forward momentum would allow me to, to turn and stuff like that. But there was resistance in the turning mechanism or the steering wheel or whatever. So I have I inadvertently bought a quart of power steering fluid because I didn't know how much I needed, and that's the size that they were selling wherever I was. So I got that. I usually go to the dollar store, okay, because they have stuff like that in there. Power steering fluid, you can get it for $1. But if you go to like a regular store, they want $4, $5, $6 for that stuff. I'm like, oh. I just went into a Dollar Tree, I think it is, and I bought a little bottle of a power steering fluid because uh, I inadvertently put the power steering fluid in the container for the brake fluid. I'm like, oh, hey, boy, okay. These things are marked, but they got little pictures on it, and as you could tell, my eyes might not be the best. So I did recently get my prescription glasses in, but when I was having this sound, I had to use them dollar store glasses. I had to try to remember where it went. So I filled up that reservoir for the yeah, not the not the power steering fluid. But anyway, it isn't like oil, and I suspect that all those oils, all those oils and stuff, I think they're all pretty much the same. You know what I'm saying? Well, wow, that sucks. I'm sorry. My finance. Oh, my finance does all. Oh, my fiance does all the car stuff. He's a mechanic. Let me tell you something. Every family, every single family under the sound of my voice needs a doctor in the family, a lawyer in the family, and a mechanic. Now that's that's just that's just how it is. I told myself a long time ago I would get the older cars because they're easier to fix. I feel so bad for you people with these new cars. You open it and you don't even know where the battery is. You don't totally. Who I try to help if I see somebody having a little problem, they got their hood up or something. If I'm in the vicinity, like coming out of the store or something, and if I see them, I might walk over to wherever they are, and I'm try to help them out. But you just can't. You can't help. Uh, hey Chase, you just can't tell, or you can't see because everything's covered. I would never try to help anybody that has a Tesla. If their hood was up, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm out of that. Let me see. There's so much stuff. Sometimes they are under the floorboard or under the trunk board They can be under your driver's seat in some cars. I have a family member. She has some type of Chrysler. I think it's a Chrysler 200 or Chrysler 100 or something like that. There, her battery is down by her driver's side wheel rail, wheel well. And I know that that's where it is, not because she needed a jump, but because I needed a jump. And it was snowy. I mean, it was at the beginning of Snowmageddon or something. And so her husband, he was going to help me jumpstart it because AAA and those other insurance roadside assistance places, when they come on and if it's really cold or snowy or something, they're not really trying to do 100%. So they come out with these little battery pack things. I actually bought one eventually because I got tired of calling AAA because my car wouldn't start. But they get out now and they got these little packs that'll start your car. All right. So plug this in somewhere. Okay. Where does it plug into? It plugs in somewhere on here. Oh, here it is. All right. So it plugs in here, and I should be able to jump start the car. But the problem is it's a USB. Okay. So you have to charge it up before you go to your car and try to jumpstart your car. I'm like, yeah, okay, okay. And the reason why I bought it is because I kept getting this flat. Okay, and I went to our convenience store that gives you free air. Okay, and I actually rode on the flat to it because it's not that far. It's maybe like 3 or 4 blocks. We got some potholes, but you could see them, so I wasn't really worried about hitting a pothole, and whatever air was in there would be forced out. But anyway, so I get down there, and the free air pump is broke. I'm like, you know what? So now there was another one. It was a couple blocks away from there, but I wasn't going to go there. I was like, okay. And I wasn't going to call AAA because when it snows really bad like that, um, I didn't have to really wait that long, but uh, it's cold. And you really don't want to be sitting out there. So, anyway, uh, uh, so these do work. I caught a flat and I put this machine on it and it worked. It pumped it up. So mine does air and it'll jump the car, and it didn't really cost that much. I think I got it from Temu, Temu, and and what made me get it was when I went to the pump and it was out or it was broken. A couple of guys had one. One at the store I was going. I'm a friendly guy, so I know the people. So I asked him. I was like, "Hey, man, you got one of them portable air pumps?" And he had one. I was like, "Oh, okay." But the problem is you had to be a rocket scientist to figure the thing out. So, so, hey, mem, so for life. Okay, so all right, so I'm still at the pump. Somebody comes in, but behind me, I moved up a little bit because I don't know. I just do stuff. I'm just one of them kind of people. I don't know what my problem is. I would literally have it made. I'm retired. I would literally have it made if I didn't have problems or I'm getting into problems. Okay. Today I went to a ATM. Now, this is just to give you an idea how my day's going. Okay. Um. So let me finish this story because I don't want to ramble. So a guy behind me, he had a air pump, one of them little portable air pumps. So he let me use his. So I asked him, I was like, hey, you want to do a good deed for today? And he was like, yeah, okay, here we go. So I asked him if I could use his ear pump. His was simple. Just put it on a thing, push the button, and it would work. That's what I thought was getting, which is fine if you charge it up. I'm like, oh, the one I have is fine, but you have to charge it up. So if you get a flat, and if you need it, and if it's out, well, you should be able to charge it up in your car, and then it'll probably work. But anyway, I did find that during the Snowmageddon, uh, they don't use the jumper cables to give you a jump start. Okay, and I wasn't calling them to put air in my tire. All right, so anyway, so full stop on that. All right, now, so I came out today. It was nice. Somebody wanted to borrow a couple of bucks, so I was like, okay. I'm just one of them kind of people. I'm a sob story for anything. Okay. Oh, my dog needs a collar. Could you let me $5 so I can go buy him a collar? I'm just one of them kind of people. Then I'll be like, oh, what kind of dog is it? I'm not. I don't ask. I was like, oh yeah, here you go. That's the problem with being a giver. You just give and give and give. And if I were you, I would recommend that you keep giving, because it is in giving that you receive. Now, it's been written and it's been proven. Okay? So keep doing that. All right? Now, I don't want to go into a big long story about it, but I'm completely satisfied with being a giver. If I see a homeless person, I'm going to give them twos or fews. If I see one on the side of the road, he got a sign. Um, and if I'm at a red light or something, I'll honk them over, and I'll give them a couple of bucks, because I got to tell you, it may be a way for them to make money, but if you got to dress like that and get out there and hold this sign, uh, I think that those type of people are legit. All right, so you're you're a good one, man. Not a lot of people stop anymore. Oh, thanks. There's so much stuff sometimes they are under the floorboard. Okay, so good. I'm all caught up on the comments. All right, that's how most things are. All right, uh, so I'll hop in the car, and I call my credit union, because uh, you all have to watch your senior citizens in your family, okay? Because you're going to find that they order a lot of stuff online. Okay. I ordered so much stuff online. I don't know. TEMU. Do not go there. All right, because you're going to spend more than you plan to spend, and you're just going to buy stuff. All right. Now, to be fair, I did get this from there, but you can go to the Walmart, and you can actually get it um, for maybe 5-10 bucks more. You can get it. But I didn't know that the Walmart sold them. All right. So the guy who did help me with my flat, he told me where he got his. You didn't have to be a rocket scientist to use it. All right. And so I gave the one machine back from the guy that works at the store, and I was able to get my tire filled with the guy who was helping me and his little machine, his little portable machine, and I ordered this one. It didn't take long to get it. We were still in Snowmageddon whenever I got this in the mail, USPS or something, or UPS or something. And Amazon is really fast, but Amazon is expensive if you don't have a membership. And my problem with Amazon and their memberships, if you get the 7-day trial, and if you forget about it, they're going to hit you up for $139. I mean, so this is why you have to watch your seniors, because it'll tell you that, okay, you can get an Amazon Prime membership for like $9 a month. Okay, but you have to pay the $139 fee. I'm like, oh, so that's a nightmare. So I've been going through and I'm canceling my uh, the free trials for like 14 days or something like that. There, yeah, it is, but seniors don't know that. All right, so you're going to have to talk to your seniors and see if they got caught up in stuff like that because they they just they just take advantage of us. All right. So anyway, I recently got a free trial for 14 days with Ancestry.com. And hey, I got to tell you, there is a God because I found during Ancestry.com I could only go as high as my grandparents and their parents. I could only go that high. But I found something that was kind of creepy that my mom, the month that she passed on, it was the same month that her mom passed on. I was like, oh, geez. So they give you these dates and stuff. And I'm like, oh, my, there is a God, and he is a God of order. So I don't know if you tried it or not, but try the free offer and kind of look at those dates and see if something similar to that might have happened to you. Okay. Um, it was just uncanny. I didn't even want to search it anymore because it turns out that my mom's mother uh, actually died the month that she was born. Okay, so she was born, I mean, the same year. So I don't think she actually knew her mom. Now, she's not here for me to ask, but it's just uncanny how things work. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up today because uh, I called my bank and I wanted to check my balance or something because I ordered stuff from Temu, Temu, and the way I did it was not the way I usually do it. Usually I'll just get a shopping cart and hit pay and get all the stuff come out uh, at once. But this time I didn't do that. For some reason or another, I hit what they call one click pay for some reason or another. And I did it 7 times because I ordered 7 items. But usually I would have just put the 7 items in one cart. I don't know why I do stuff. I literally don't. So all those came through, but they came through individually. Okay, so it wasn't too bad. I got so many items because a bunch of them were $2 and $3 and stuff like that. There. All right. So I'm kind of watching my balance. All right, because I don't know if there are any more of them jokers still coming through. I went up and I went back and checked my order history with them. And the one thing that I wanted to get one of those exercise things, so one of those hand exercise things. Um, it apparently I didn't order it. I'm like, okay, so so I got all that stuff and still didn't get the one thing that I wanted. I'm like, okay, so I hope that they didn't pull a fast one on me or anything. But I did get some stuff that I wanted. Like I wanted to get some moringa. For them that know that they know what moringa is, and I wanted to try some of that moisturizer for your face that has collagen in it. All right, because I tend to look like I'm losing weight, and you kind of look like that in the face. All right, because they can't really tell unless your clothes are just hanging off of you. by looking at you. So whatever they could see, which is usually your face, well, I learned that it's collagen. So I figured I'd order some from that. And I always wanted to get a herbal remedy book. But the herbal remedy book on TikTok is, I don't know, I think it's like 15, 16 bucks or something. So I saw that they had one on Timu. It was for like $4 or $5. So this is how I got so many loose items. So I'm watching it on my checking account. And plus I have auto pays coming out. Now sometimes my auto pays will show pending transaction. But I found that doing a little research, some of my auto pays come straight out of my checking account. I'm like, oh boy. And I was trying, that wasn't what I was trying to do. I was trying to get my auto pays to come off of my credit card. So you got to watch them jokers. Um, because if you got an auto pay and if it goes straight to your checking account, you can't stop that. You have to, or so if you had a debit card or something like that, there any of these types of payment, you can't stop them. All right. So if you do a debit card transaction, and if you change your mind later, you don't want it or you got it, and uh, you can't get that money put back on the card. All right. You got to do a dispute or something like that there. And so I try to get all mine going to PayPal. So PayPal, if you have a dispute, they will at least check it out. Like, okay, we'll call the people and see if they're going to put the money back on your card or whatever. It's a pain in the butt, basically. The things that make your life easier and simpler, they really complicate it. I should have just went to the store. Oh boy, but being a conspiracy theorist and someone who keeps up on uh, AI news and stuff, the last time I looked at a problem with a store, somebody that lost control of their car and ran right into the store. I'm like, oh. So you don't want to go to the store. You don't want to go to the movies. And you know why? A movie theater. So basically, if you want to order a movie or something and watch that at home, you have to have headphones because most movies you want to watch loudly, and that's going to be a problem with your neighbors. So anyway, if you live in like an apartment building, it won't be a problem if you live in a house unless others live in your house. And then whenever you want to watch a movie, they're trying to go to sleep so they can get up and go to work tomorrow. All right. So anyway, that's enough of venting from me. Uh, I hope I covered the topic that I put in the headline. What I used to do, what I'll do is I'll change it after, because when I do these live videos, I select private, but when they process it, and sometimes they don't process it right away, like you're listening to me live now, but by the time they get done processing it, I don't know when they post it, because it'll say, hey, we're processing, it will publish within the next 24 hours or something. I don't know what it is. But if you're still listening to me, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel until I figure this out, or like and subscribe to the video, or whatever it is I'm supposed to say. And I'll like and subscribe to yours, and we'll figure it out together, okay? So, anyway, what you do is you just keep moving forward. You're not jinxed. You don't have things don't go your way no matter what you try. No, it isn't that at all. Um, I'm trying. I couldn't put money in my credit union today. All right, so I'm trying to watch my transactions because I'm down to like $40 on my checking account, and I don't get paid for another couple of weeks. Now I got cash and stuff that I could use. on hand, so I'm not really that worried about my checking account. If I want to buy something, I can put it through the PayPal credit or something like that. But what I wanted to do was put some cash on my card, so if any of these Timu transactions went through that haven't posted yet, by now they probably have because it's been at least 2 weeks. But my auto pays that have not come through, I can never get my auto pays all lined up and have them come out at the beginning of the month. Okay, because what an auto pay will do, if you sign up for it, they'll start that auto pay the day the day you put it through or something. I don't know. So my auto pays are spread out throughout the month. So for example, I got one to my Chase card that's either $80 or $100. So that's going to be a problem because I only have 40 in there now. So what I was going to do was I got one of those little envelope things where you put $10 in, then you go to the next envelope and you put 25 in, and then you go to the next envelope, you put 8 in. I got one of those. I can't remember what they're called, but the reason why I got it, because they said if you fill up all these envelopes at these amounts, you should have, it's either $3,000 or $5,000 by the time you fill up that book. I'm nowhere ever near I'm getting stuff like that. So what I did was I just took the cash out of that, and I was going to go ahead and put it into the credit union because I know that I have a couple auto pays that are going to be coming through. So the auto pays, if I put it on the card, I think they come through as pending. But the ones that they put the auto pays through to come out of my checking account, they don't. Whatever day it's posted to go through, it just comes out. So you don't see pending, and hey, I better go ahead and put some cash on there. So today I couldn't put any cash on it because they're having problems at the bank. I'm like, okay. So since I was going to go out and help my brother, actually, the Bible says, "And my brother's keeper." So I have one that can't get around and out and about like I can. He can, but he doesn't have a car to do it. So you got to do it on a bus, and then you got a walker. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, yes, you are your brother's keeper, and so I was going to take him some cash. I don't usually do that. I usually put the cash on the Cash App so I know how much I gave you and how much you paid back. Okay. If it gets too high, guess who's not getting any money from me? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, because I found out that you can give somebody money and kind of forget about it, and after over the years that it adds up. It's quite significant. So I found out that I have one person that I gave them uh, I gave them a sum of money, and when I seen how much they pay back, it's not jiving. Okay, so that person is cut off, but I'm still a giver. So the amount of money that these types of people will want to borrow from you, I would give that to a homeless person. But but these particular people that they borrow and say, hey, could you loan me a couple bucks, and then they never give it back. So anyway, I digress. So now the credit union can't do cash transactions today. I'm like, you know what? So I called back about an hour or so later, because what I was going to do was I was just going to ride down. Okay, take the car. It's nice outside, so I don't want to sit in the house. So I was going to go to our park and ride. It's a couple neighborhoods over. Park my car there, then catch a bus because I'm a senior, so I can catch the bus for free. All right, and then if I ride to town, you got to pay to park, and it's a pain in the butt. And then I might be riding dirty, so I might not want to go downtown because they'll give you tickets for anything. Okay, you got 3 good tires. What do you give me a ticket for having one bald one? You know what I'm saying? Woo! Giving tickets have never been about public safety. It's just income generating for uh, your city or your borough or whatever. So keep that in mind. All right, and find out what you can do about it. All right. I do know this one little trick. I didn't have the backbone to follow it through, but you can write something on the back of your ticket, and that voids the ticket out. I think it's called threat, duress, and coercion. BTC. You could put that on your ticket, and that voids that ticket, so they can't really go forward because you got it. You accepted that ticket, signed the ticket. You know how they do. Hey, I'll sign here. This is not a admission of guilt or anything, but it actually is. Okay, but they just tell you that to get you to sign the thing. Then they set up a hearing date for you and everything. But by putting that BTC on it, it's supposed to cancel that. Now, I did something similar to that a long time ago. And what I did was I learned to write under duress on the back of the ticket. So what you do is you send the ticket in, and if they say if you want to fight it, send in $50 with the ticket, and they'll set you up a hearing. All right, and but if you write under duress, they don't charge you the $50. There's a lot of stuff, uh, so you don't have to pay the $50. I didn't know enough to, and I was afraid that even though I wrote that on there, if I should if I should still go in. So I still went in, and I don't think they gave me one of those things in the mail. Hey, you got a hearing date at traffic court. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff you guys could learn. Just because they give you something, it doesn't mean you're stuck with it. But you have to learn how to come up with a remedy uh, for that. There are terms. Uh, there are terms that you're going to benefit from learning to keep you from paying. So what I decided to do was I was going to put this money in the bank today. All right. So I couldn't do that. Even if I went in, since it's a credit union, they only have one of them. Or they have another one, but it's clear across town. I wasn't trying to do all that. They have another branch because our credit union got uh, taken over by another credit union. All right, so our credit union only had one office, but the ones that have taken us over, they now have our office plus their office. So I'm not really sure where their office is because we've only been incorporated for maybe 3 months or so. And there really isn't any reason for me to go to the other one because everything is direct deposit, stuff like that there. So, uh, so this is how my day is going. Since you asked, I just might as well tell you. All right. So anyway, I I called them back. Maybe an hour later, their system still isn't taking cash, and I could. So if you go in, you can't deposit cash. All right. I guess you could do any other transaction, but they can't take cash. I'm like, all right, you know what? And hey, that's what that CBDC thing is all about. They're trying to go toward being a cashless society. I don't know if you know that, but when they do, I don't want you to be caught by surprise because stuff like this is going to happen to you. You're not going to be able to do anything with your cash at the bank. All right, so you're going to have to learn about Bitcoin. You're going to have to learn about some of these other transactions. Okay, because you're not going to be able to use cash. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was fully encompassed in 2026. This is how far down the road it is. All right. We had this one president. I don't know if he was Roosevelt or before him, But his problem, I mean, we know that that's what happened to Abraham Lincoln. We know that they him because he didn't want to do the banking system. He wanted to use greenbacks. Okay, you young people don't know this, and I was not alive then, but I'm just one of them kind of overthinkers. So if you send me down the rabbit trail, chances are pretty good I'm going to go down it. So anyway, they decided that they, didn't want him to be president anymore. But that was one of the reasons. It wasn't so much about the emancipation of the slaves, because that was already going to happen, because the British came in and all these other nations back then came in and they were like, hey, no more slaves. All right, so it wasn't his particular emancipation thing. All right, that caused that type of war. All right, it was the banking was the problem, and there was another president that has a quote, uh, not to let bankers take over, or the Federal Reserve was the problem. All right, at that time. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but in 2026, they're actually trying to uh, disconnect us from using the Federal Reserve banking. So, for example, the average person wouldn't use the Federal Reserve, okay, unless you were a sovereign, and unless a sovereign person can access it, the Federal Reserve. You cannot pay anything with cash. Stop doing that. Um, Federal Emergency Relief Act of 1933, all right, is when we stopped using cash. And your cash is now called fiat. So if we had stuck with Lincoln, we would have been using the greenbacks, which is cash. All right. But what we use now, with the pyramid on the back and that little alien picture on the back of it, we use that. All right, so that is associated with the Federal Reserve. They are moving down the road with getting us off of that. Okay, so they're going to get us on the Fed Now. That's what Fed Now is. All right, they're actually using it. Some places use it. All right, you don't know because you're doing your regular banking, but you're going to go to your regular bank, and they're going to tell you what I experienced today. Well, we're having problems with our cash transactions. I'm telling you now. So you're going to have to find a way out instead of getting stuck. Um, all right, trying to find a way out. Now it's like anything else. There's going to be an alternative to it, but your direct deposits, your auto pays and stuff, those are going to get taken over by Fed Now. Okay, they're going to get access to your banking account, your checking accounts, your savings account, your I don't know your retirements, and they're going to uh, get their hands on that, and they're going to be able to control whether you can take money out of that or if you can't take money out of that. You guys really need to have been paying attention to uh, the what is that thing that they did, 2020, the 2020 agenda. Then they got another one coming in 2030. Those agendas, you guys really should have paid attention to it, because you're going to get stuck like Chuck, and you'll have to do it. Okay, so I mean, you may find the alternatives then, but by the time the mass amount of people find out about the alternatives, they're going to be shutting those down. Okay, so right now they are just anxious to establish the thing, so they haven't found the loopholes yet. But once they find out the loopholes, you're going to be stuck like Chuck. AI is going to take over, and they're going to be controlling your accounts. All right. So you're going to have to do whatever you got to do. Back when we were growing up, or maybe before we were growing up, the system that our grandparents used was take your money and hide it under a mattress. You won't be able to even do that anymore because nobody's going to be taking cash. Okay, so pay attention to the 2030 agenda. Just read it. You don't have to read all the pages. Okay, you can do on your typewriter. Hit Control button and F, and type in the word that you want to go to in the 2030 agenda, so you don't have to read the whole thing. And type in uh, checking accounts and savings account, and it'll take you straight to the page because these agendas are thick. Okay, and you're going to have to, so nobody reads it. Okay, it's too much for one person to read. You have to have an office, and you have to give everybody in the office 10 pages to read. Okay, so no one person is going to read the 2030 agenda or the 2025 agenda. If you want to hide something from a person of color, put it in a book because they ain't reading it. Okay, so that's because we trust people. As a race of people, we just trust people. You would have to be uh, a culture that trusts, or you never would have gotten anywhere near a slave catcher. All right, I mean you're trying to, you know, come in peace, and they're coming in and trying to capture you and make you a slave. That's how it lasted for so long. And plus, we didn't have TV and stuff back then. I guess we could have warned our brothers and the indigenous people, hey, stay away from these people because they're trying to make you a slave, something like that. But it's terrible out here. I don't know where this is going, and I am kind of up in the air. I'm 50-50 on the Orange Man, because I tell you what, the way our media is set up and the way we get our information, the people who are negative, they're the ones who get the most press. Okay, they're going to tell us the worst part about the Orange Man, and he actually uh, he's I'm not what I seem. So I'm pretty sure he's not what he seems, but he also isn't uh, as bad as we think. If the stuff that he ran on, if he actually does, because he signed a lot of executive orders. Okay, I like that one where I don't know if this is a conspiracy or something, but I think he actually closed down the IRS. I'm not sure. Okay, so he's done. So if he, so he's getting rid of all these alphabet agencies and stuff. Probably not the CIA or the FBI or anything, but all these other ones that are just um, uh, part of the swamp that he said he was clearing out. He actually did a lot of that, but the way it was presented to us is, oh, these people are going to be out of jobs and stuff like that. There, okay. So we are bleeding hearts. Okay, so we kind of this is what was presented to us, but some of the stuff that he did that might have um, actually benefited us, they're not going to bring that out. So who knew? Um, they did this one thing with a Kamala, and what they did was they took part of what she was saying, and the interviewer asked her, if you make president, are you going to do anything specifically for the black people? And the sound bite that they took off of that interview was, no, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people. So if you just heard that, okay, because that's the way that they presented it would sound like she was a terrible person. No, you're black. How come you're not doing anything for black people? But if you had listened to that whole interview, you it wouldn't. That's not what she was saying. Okay. So anyway, if you're going to be a conspiracy theorist, try to remember that AI is coming in now, and you can make people say whatever you want them to say. We believe that if you go to court for a particular problem, and if they find you guilty on the facts, the problem with the facts is you can make the facts say anything. Okay? For example, there are innocent people in jail that got sentenced because of the facts. They're completely innocent. You'll hear over and over again about somebody who got arrested, sentenced to jail for life or whatever, and then they do a DNA. It's not that person's DNA. Okay, they arrest someone for committing a crime in Maryland, and that person was in California on the big screen and everything at a football game. But somebody said that he looked like the person, and they uh, found him guilty on the facts. This system that we live in is terrible. So here's what you do: you're going to have to be on another system. The kingdom of heaven here on earth is the system that I want you to get into. Okay? I want you to get a little, that little voice that you hear all the time if you have an internal dialogue. Okay? If you have a friend of yours that does not have an internal dialogue, you're going to have to look out for them. Okay? Because they mean well, they got the biggest heart, they got kids and everything, but they don't have an internal dialogue. The internal dialogue is that the voice that you hear all the time. And I want you to train it to hear things about the creator of heaven and earth until eventually those are the thoughts that are going off in the background. When you go from your memory and stuff, you're going to draw from that little voice that the Bible says that happy is the man whose mind is stayed on Christ Jesus. And if you want to know how to do that, the way you do it is, number one, read the Bible. All right? Because what your brain will do was it'll pay attention to whatever you're in front of. Okay? And then let these types of things become part of your memory. Okay? So, for example, people get distracted. Okay? Um, they scroll online and stuff like that. Dopamine. Most of what we have stored in our mind came from dopamine type of experiences or information. Sometimes it's going to be hard for us to determine, is this a real thought that has actually happened, or is it something that or is it a false memory? Okay. If you see something, if you have a stressor, if you are a person that has PTSD and something reminds you of it, whatever reminds you of it wasn't the PTSD event. It was just something that makes you remember it. It's called a stressor. So what you want is you want to just read the Bible, listen to the Bible, listen to those songs. Yes, everybody knows that the Bible is corrupted. When they said that years and years and years ago, you wouldn't have believed it. Okay? I mean, even in my limited life, I would lean toward, this Bible is not corrupted, and you have to tear it out of, you have to pry it out of my cold dead hands. And not so much anymore, because I actually read it, and I'm seeing where the corruption is. And once I went down the rabbit trail, I can actually see where it happened. And I could actually see who did it and why they did it. Could you imagine uh, somebody taking the icons and painting over them? I guess they were able to do that back then. I mean, they would have to be able to do something like that because, back in them days, they were building pyramids and um, some of these places we see uh, that looked like, like, how did they build that? you know, so they had some skills and stuff back then. But when it translated into the religion, what they would do was that they would paint over the icons, or they would take an icon that is clearly a person of color, and they would make it uh, a non-person of color. They would just paint it over. They would lighten it. It was called something. It's so significant what they would do. There's actually a word for it. Okay. So all right. So this is all. So this is our alternative. This is what you do, young people, because you don't know all this that I just told you, but I want you to learn this that I'm telling you now. You're going to have to get a relationship with the creator of heaven, and the only way you're going to do it is if you know something about the creator of heaven. You do well to know the scriptures, but the adversary also knows the scriptures. So, and the way they know it is not by going to church. They know it because they read them. Okay, and they will use those scriptures to hinder you or whatever, or to lead you astray. Be of good cheer. Woe to those who cause the least of these in the kingdom of heaven to stray, but until that woe part comes in for them, they're still going to keep doing it. Okay, it would be better for you to have a millstone tied around your neck and dumped into a lake than cause the least of these to stray or something like that there. All right. Uh, a millstone, it's a stone, probably as big as your chest, and they would tie a rope around it, and that millstone, and they would throw you in the water. Okay, you're not coming back up. Okay, you could be a strong swimmer, you're not getting out of that. All right, so anyway, so this is how you do it. You concentrate on this word. You read as much of it as you can. All right. Leave the corrupted part and the part that's not corrupted together. Don't worry about figuring it out for yourself, because what it'll do is it'll be separated itself. The Bible says that we are to leave the wheat and the chaff together. There was a farmer, and he went out and he planted seeds. All right, and then the deceiver came behind him, like maybe a week or so later, because after you plant the seeds, you're not going to go back out there for a minute. And the deceiver comes along, and he planted chaff. Okay, so when the plant grew up, it had wheat and chaff together. They'll grow up together. All right. So then the people who are going to come in and harvest it will say, "Hey, man, um, this the chaff is on the wheat. You want us to pull it off?" And the farmer said, "No, uh, let it grow together, and then when we go to the threshing field, we'll shake it off." So if you try to pull the corrupt part out of the Bible, it's like throwing out the baby with the bathwater, kind of thing. All right, so you don't want to do, so you don't want to do that. Okay, you might want to wait until the baby outgrows the tub and then empty it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right, so anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I apologize if I went off topic because I'm doing this on the phone and it doesn't actually show me the title of it. So what I'll do is I'll go back on after it processes it and I'll try to change the title. Okay. All right. Love y'all. Are there any more questions? Anybody? Mimis for life. Chase Still. Any questions? Anybody? Anybody else? Okay, so remember, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I want you to try some of these herbal remedies that they have. Stuff that you would not have thought about trying. But the only thing I could tell you is I had a stroke, and a week later I was out and about working outside during the beginning of Snowmageddon without a heater. Okay, because I was not ready for it. I wasn't dressed for it. The day I went out, one day I went out and it was 40 degrees in the morning, but we had this cold snap come in. And I don't know if you've ever been in a cold snap, but as nice as it is right now outside Tuesday, if a cold snap hit us right now, everybody out here right now is going to be inappropriately dressed because it's going to get really cold really fast. All right, so try to prepare yourself for what's getting ready to happen. Listen to some of the conspiracy theorists. Take some of the herbs and the minerals and the nutrients. So if you have a stroke, maybe you won't be one of those that come out of it like this. All right, because you have what's in you that's necessary. Try to deworm. Try to get rid of the parasites and stuff like that. There. All right, these are real things. So try to find the real deal parasite, dewormer, minerals, and nutrients. I know it's a crapshoot because people figured out how to make money off of it. So you're going to get some of the knockoffs and stuff like that there. So if you know a place that is legit and they sell stuff like that, they're buying it. It's better to have it and don't need it than need it and don't have it. And if you at least get it in you, it'll do what it's supposed to do. Your blood cells and stuff are like really, really small. So you don't really need it that much of it. You don't need a 100 milligram pill to have it work on your blood cells. All right, because the blood cells are so small, so you don't really need that much. Then once you take it, once it gets in there, it knows what to do. It knows what to do if you eat. Your body knows what to do if you eat a cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so don't not take it. Okay, if you get your artificial hair or whatever, look at all those little strands that are in those wigs and stuff. All right, but it makes one hair do. But so kind of look at it like that. Deworming, take it. If they say something about you got too much metal, take it. Detox, do all that stuff. So when something happens to you, your body is like 100%. If you have something wrong with you, you don't want to catch a stroke and then something else is already wrong with you. How many times do people go for a checkup and they end up finding that they have something else wrong? Okay, like a blood clot or something. I don't know I don't know the types of scenarios that you go to a hospital for one thing and find out you have something else. So, because I'm not really like a hospital person, and you wouldn't believe that if you ever went in my house and you'll see all of these concoctions and stuff like that I have, but I'm not really a hospital person. I worked in one for about 10 to 14 years. But no, I was never a patient. My problem is mental. So I work the most time in a mental hospital because I'm kind of like that. I don't know what it is, but most of the places I got jobs, believe it or not, I was a customer at, uh, like the fast food restaurants. When I was looking for a job, that's where I went, to a fast food place. I thought it was brilliant because I would get the job, get a check, and then plus they would feed you. It was brilliant. The only problem is when I used that, I was living with someone else. So it didn't, so the income didn't really take care of my rent and stuff like that there. But you know how it is. If you have a sibling or somebody living with you, they're on hard times or something, you're like, oh yeah, go ahead and save your money or whatever. So yeah, so go get a job, but save your money until you can get on your feet. All right, so anyway, that's all I could tell you, new people. Uh, get ready. There are going to be changes. There are changes that have already been made, and you're just going to end up in it. Okay. Well, yeah. See ya. Okay.